It's not shocking that more and more men are leaving their homelands to find a partner in another country. When women in these countries don't respect or even like their men and constantly criticize them, I can't say that I blame the men. These guys have left their countries in search of a woman who will appreciate them and won't treat them like a burden because of their sense of entitlement and high standards. When you give womanism some serious thought, you might start to wonder if it's really indoctrination or if it's just something women have always secretly wanted but haven't had the power to achieve on their own for centuries. Since I'm being completely forthright here, I'll say that both are at play, with a higher proportion going to womanism because it's something women have always secretly desired. It stands to reason that a person who has been treated as the lesser of the sexes for their entire life would jump at the chance to finally be treated as an equal and gain power and control over the person who had always treated them as inferior. What you just read describes the feelings of most contemporary women. Since they've never experienced real authority before, it's only natural that they would take a chance. This is all clear to us now. What we see is how women treat men they consider to be beneath them. The cold hard truth is that women trash men they think are beneath them and temporarily submit to men they think are above them. I think womanism has always been what progressive women have wanted. If you disagree with me, then explain to me why so many modern women embrace womanism at the expense of traditionalism. Traditional values, in which men take the lead and women follow, are seen as a sign of weakness by today's progressive women. However, when women publicly choose masculinity dominance and sexual liberation over men, they are praised and shared. Is it that they're just following the indoctrination, or that womanism represents something they've always secretly desired but felt they could never have? From what I've seen and heard, womanism is what women truly desired all along. From my vantage point, there is just too much evidence pointing in that direction. Not that I care. You can let them keep blindly following sexism in any form they choose. Let them bear the consequences of their behavior. Women in their late teens and 20s who are career-focused and have an insane work ethic, which is rare, can achieve financial success by adhering to the womanism ideology. But these women quickly forget that as they age, their looks and body will begin to decline while their attitudes will remain the same. Women won't find a suitable partner if they are thinking about starting a family because of this. Womanism is ideal for these ladies if they have no plans to settle down and start a family. They try to make a name for themselves professionally, save up for and purchase their ideal vehicle, live independently, and then die alone. However, womanism is detrimental to their prospects of finding a partner and starting a family. This is why they feel so much frustration and anger over their inability to fulfill all of their desires. The missing link is men, but they aren't cooperating with them. I hope I've been clear enough for you to see why womanism isn't a viable option for the vast majority of women. They can't fathom being old and lonely and helpless all by themselves. Therefore, they go on the lookout for a savior, hoping to avoid the orphanage or, worse, the streets. Most women who subscribe to the womanism ideology claim they can get by just fine without men, but in reality they rely heavily on male partners for emotional and practical support. These males are either their dads, ex-husbands, short-term flings, or the law enforcement or military. They need financial support each month, even though they are expected to be self-sufficient. The modern women I've seen buying into the womanism ideology have led me to this conclusion. Let's circle back to the original question of why men travel so far to find a partner. The BS of today's women has worn men down. Everything that women want that is centered on womanism is not for the betterment of men, and the constant disrespect and high barrier of entry just to sit down and go on a date with one of these women are driving men away because they can't live up to it. When he finally does succeed in wooing a female, he settles for merely the bare minimum. His partner will treat him with disdain, constantly nag him, even cheat on him before they finally get a divorce. Why did he have to sacrifice his children? I don't agree that men should leave their countries to find love, but I can see why some do. You should know that other women will take advantage of you just like the ones who are trying to escape. For example, many of the women I know have boyfriends who have facilitated sexual relationships with men from first world countries and sent the resulting monetary contributions back to their families. Everyone needs to bundle up because we live in a frigid world. Let's examine the factors that lead men to look for love elsewhere. Time was when gender roles were strict but unambiguous. Though progress has been made, it has not been without cost. Gender roles in modern America continue to be a point of debate. Many of us, both male and female, are confused about the precise function of our genders and whether or not they should be determining factors. These guys have learned the old-fashioned way to court women. Women have always been treated with respect and kindness in my home. In a society where women exist primarily to aid men in acquiring power and wealth, the code of chivalry is sound. To bolster this point, consider how much more appreciative you would be if your boss held the door open for you instead of a coworker. In the past, both sexes acted like the boss does today toward their lower-level employees. Men were polite and respectful, and they handled their authority with grace. The traditional role of a boss has been replaced by that of a peer in the modern workplace. Even if you pay for dinner, she's no longer impressed. This is now to be expected. Although chivalry isn't effective with modern American women, it does fairly well with those in developing nations. The dating scene is related to social interactions and the economy. Women who control the dating market are increasingly resorting to manipulative and exploitative tactics toward men as a means of making ends meet now that more people than ever are dating online and the economy is stagnant. Time is limited and people need a way to use dating to get through the month, so dinner dates on their own are no longer sufficient, and this is why there are so many dating apps available. All these ladies are after is cash. Men need to accept the fact that traditional dating is dying and being replaced by transactional relationships. Let's move on to the second issue. The American woman has a sense of entitlement. We're equal and you shouldn't treat us differently when it comes to some things, but they want men to be men and women to be women when it comes to other things. The one and only time I tell a man, I don't need your help, it's because I don't want or need his assistance. I'm capable of looking after myself. Another common one is some variation on the theme that because he is a man and she is a woman, he should take care of her. Men often make the wrong assumptions. What women really want is for us to be telepathic. They want us to know that sometimes no means yes, sometimes it means not yet, and sometimes it means no. The slightest misstep and we'll be written off as weaklings, and women don't like weakling men. Unfortunately, that means the woman is gone forever. We could be accused of sexual assault with even a single step in the wrong direction. Few American men have figured out how to do this successfully, but the vast majority have given up and moved on to easier pursuits, like dating women from other countries. Women in less developed countries simply don't have the financial resources to act entitled. When they find a leader, they immediately devote themselves to him, develop an insatiable desire to be with him forever, and become financially dependent on him. Because of economic constraints, women in these countries aren't embracing womanism. Men in their country have not granted women equal rights and equal opportunities, and neither has society given women the freedom to choose to be feminists. Men are basic creatures who long to be valued. It's gotten to the point where women no longer have any appreciation at all. They think that just because they're women, they're owed a certain amount of kindness. It's been so long since I did anything nice for a woman that I don't even remember the last time she was genuinely grateful for what I gave her. My advice to men has never changed. Live however they please. Be a free spirit or conform to the places that need you. Take precautions while walking around these streets. You can be a victim of false accusation. That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. See you next time. Cheers.